Welcome, Butch School Buses, to Geek Salad's Retro Movie Reviews. Yeah. From the Geek Salad Podcast, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And we continue with our PIXAR retrospecticus, going back and looking at all the films of PIXAR, continuing with Cars 3 from 2017. And the dog. All right. The dog is surprised as we are. This wasn't terrible.
No, I can genuinely say I am shocked that I said this, and I'm saying this, but I was very pleasantly surprised by this movie.
I am really surprised by this movie. I mean, by no means I feel like this is a good movie, but there's definitely an improvement. And I'm mad because I wish if we'd had this earlier, I might have been a little more invested in this entire universe.
I'll go on a limb and say this is a good movie. This is a movie I actually enjoyed watching. In fact, the final race, I've actually gone back and watched it several times because that scene, that whole scene is genuinely enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting about the movie is, it still carries on to what, worked with Cars. The character design, as cartoony as it is, color shading, just the animation alone is really, really good.
Yeah.
As long as, you don't think too hard about why do the cars have teeth or
why there's a school bus.
Yes. What is a bar and grill in the Cars universe?
Well, we know what the grill is.
Well, that doesn't make much sense, though, because everyone's got a grill.
But it's a nice pun.
Huh?
It's a nice pun, though.
Yeah. Well, it's just that's what they are. They're bar and grills, Go get a burger and beer,
Yep.
But there's something about this movie, and a lot of it, I think, has to do with giving Lightning a better motivation than being essentially a side character in his own movie in Cars 2.
Yeah.
And let's just be honest, scuttling everything about Cars 2. There isn't a damn mention in there. It's not like Mater's walking around, hey, you remember when I had them jetpacks on my back and I had a girlfriend? Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, Cars 2 has been completely erased from the continuity, and I am perfectly fine with that.
I am absolutely fine with it. And the funny thing is, though, because I remember when I started watching it, I'm like, oh, this is just going to be the same thing, shitty covers of songs I actually like. The first time you see Mater is like, yeah, there's my best friend Lightning. Oh, fuck, stop it. No, it's it's Cars again. It's Cars and it's Cars 2. Stop with that. And what was a little surprising to me was, I don't know, do you remember the teaser for Cars 3?
Yeah, it was just like, it was kind of images, and then it just showed like a Lightning's crash.
Yeah.
And it's beautifully animated. That is one of the most gorgeous shots.
I
agree.
The
parts flying off.
I agree with that. So here's my thought on that, though, is that I kind of feel like there was a missed opportunity in the movie to make it more of a traumatic point for him instead of just being, well, I don't know, I'm just going to sit in the dark for 4 months and, I'll go back to racing at some point,
Wow.
This is how his horn should have worked. Wow. I'm surprised I haven't made that joke yet.
Yeah.
I like, we didn't spend too much time with characters from the older movies, with the exception of Giuseppe. I'm just gonna say it's Giuseppe. It's Tony Shalhoub.
That Tony Shalhoub is Luigi. Giuseppe is the pit stop.
Okay. Yeah. At that point, Tony Shalhoub is a gigantic star, so it's like, okay, we'll just throw him in there. Every once in a while, he does stuff where it doesn't annoy the hell out of me. Like I liked
Yeah.
him in Miss Maisel, but who the hell knows when that show's coming back?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like the first half of the movie, I'm like, okay, this is more of Cars 1. At least at least it's no Cars 2, which Cars 1 was okay.
Yeah.
But I think both you and I at the pretty much exact midpoint of the
Dead
movie.
midpoint. And I'll tell the audience this. I shared this with you. Tell the audience now. It was exactly at the midpoint of this movie where, because I had to pause it because I think my son needed something, you do something for him. The milk was too heavy. I had to go pour him a glass of milk. Something. I had to take my attention away from the TV for a long enough period of time where I could just walk and come right back. I paused. I'm like, oh, what do you know? It's dead center of the movie. And that is when this movie changed my entire attitude of this entire movie.
And
Go ahead, Mike.
I think it all comes down to two words: Cruz Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
This character, I mean, yeah, she'd been in the movie before, but like she was really more of a comedic character.
Yeah.
But then, exact midpoint of the movie, she has a speech that completely turned me 180 on this movie.
Yeah. Ask me, did I always want to be a trainer?
It was a beautifully heart-wrenching moment. And it gave this character so many more layers than Lightning McQueen has ever had.
Right.
And when they started to focus more on her and less on Lightning, and it was then became more of a dual movie, this movie just took on an entire new life for me, and it became a much, much better movie.
This is the kind of thing where I forgive the pun, we're at the end of the road with the Cars movies. I kind of wish that they do something with Cruz going forward, because she is a very intriguing character. I mean, I didn't care so much for her intro because I just kind of felt like we were just kind of being fed that, okay, well, old country boy is going to have to deal with, new agey techniques of doing things. But I loved her arc. I loved just in general, it's a believable character. And, this movie this series is always going to have the anchor of being the worst Pixar series.
Yeah.
Cars 2, hands down, is the worst Pixar movie. It doesn't, every day that goes by, it ages even worse.
Yes.
I was so shocked by how much I like this one.
Yeah.
And it's, in terms of how we rate Cars movies, the fact that it's 45% good and maybe about 20% decent, which means that less of it is bad, because we still got to deal with Mater. Mater is going to show up in this. There's some stuff about it too that really, as a fan of Pixar movies, it just insults the intelligence when they kind of there's that stuff with the his old opponent, the one from the first movie.
Oh yeah. Hicks.
Yeah, but now he's got his own show on the Racing Network.
Yeah, he's no longer voiced by Michael Keaton.
Right, but he's doing. He's got his own show on the Racing Network, and he's just made it like his own personal vendettas against Lightning. It's just, this is DreamWorks stuff. Come on, man. You're better than this. I could always do without all the car puns, Bob Cutlass and it's it is what it is, but the whole Demolition Derby thing seemed a little out of place.
That school bus will haunt my nightmares.
Yeah. Well, I mean, race cars in general are not tough car. I mean, you've seen accidents. You've seen car accidents with them. I mean, yeah, they're going at a high speed. Those things are primarily fiberglass.
Oh, yeah.
And they don't have much in the way of, as we're trying to inject realism into this, I don't think they couldn't drive in the mud. They don't have any type of, I don't know if they're front wheel drive or not. I'm not sure how that works, but I just don't feel like they've got enough pickup to get out of a slick area. They are made for one terrain and one terrain only.
Yeah.
And
you know, the whole the final racing, it's obviously foreshadowed when he goes and sees the pictures of the Doc
Hudson,
set.
yeah.
And you know, so it's like they're setting up a master apprentice, like a trainer, rookie from. And so, you know, you could when the finale happens and that happens, you saw it coming, but there are two different. When you can see something coming, and they do it very blatantly and it's just stupid. That's one thing. When you see it coming, but they still do it really well and with emotional stakes.
Yeah,
you forgive that, and I forgive this one because the relationship between Lightning and Cruz, I genuinely enjoyed at the end. I thought that it was believable and very, very well done.
I agree with you. I absolutely agree with you. I do find it interesting. Also, you and I were kind of having like that discussion on offline about this movie is Rockies 3 through 5.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, if you think about it, I mean, so Lightning's got to get the eye of the tiger back, because he's lost a bunch of races to, fiercer competitors who happen to be under the same type of training regimen as Ivan Drago in terms of all their state-of-the-art, technology and driving. And then he's got to train the new driver like in Rocky 5. So it's...
And the main villain is voiced by Armie Hammer.
Wow! Before we knew he was a piece of shit. So yeah, great. Oh God, it's that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's hard to watch Armie Hammer now.
It was always kind of tough to watch him. Like there's legitimately one role I really liked him in, and that was The Social Network, a movie I don't care for. But he was good in it because he played two people. Yeah.
But knowing that he could threaten to eat his co-stars if he didn't like them, that does throw you off a little bit.
Yeah. But I mean, I like this movie. I don't foresee myself going back to it, but I did. I mean, unless I think my son is older now that this is not something he really particularly cares for. But I am glad that I gave it, I sat down, I gave it the full review watch.
Yeah.
Interesting thing about this movie, by the way, this is the first Pixar movie that implemented a diversity director to make sure that there were ample roles. Literally putting spreadsheets together, and there's a great documentary on Disney Plus. Like, there's a Pixar behind the scenes series of documentaries, which are about anywhere from like 10 minutes to about 20, 25 minutes, talking about things that Pixar does in different aspects of the company. And this is one of the things that they did on Cars 3. They hired a diversity director who comes in, goes down, is there from script all the way to production, making sure, that there are certain percentages of things made. Now, with Cars, it's a little difficult because obviously, you're dealing in cars and, I don't think anyone wants to be like, oh, that's a black voice. But just having, women represented, especially in something as boy heavy as this. And let's be honest, Cruz is easily the best woman in any of these movies because, I mean, Sally is just there as a motivational tool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Holly Goodyear, whatever the fuck that. Yeah. Cars 2 doesn't count anymore.
Push it out of my head.
Just really just there to be the same. She's like Sally from Mater. Like, you can do this, Mater. You bet I can. But Cruz is legitimately like, huh?
That was weird. The way you bounce between the two voices.
Yeah, that's what I do. How long have you known me? But yeah, no, I think Cruz is is a fantastic character and someone I really like seeing. And again, I wouldn't mind. See, I don't know if I go back and look at the Pixar popcorn, maybe there's one for her. I kind of skipped all the car stuff because cars.
Hmm.
I'd be interested in seeing if they've done anything with this character, just to
Yeah.
do a short or something. Because I know we got Mater time with
We got
I get game
so
with
many
Nancy.
Mater shorts.
What's that?
So many Mater shorts.
Yeah, and I don't know, and now everything with cars is just kind of coming back to the SNL skit from a few months ago.
I missed it.
You have, oh my god, it's on YouTube, and it's Owen Wilson playing himself, kind of rating some sides for Cars 4, and one of their new cast members on SNL does a great Larry the Cable Guy. Like, you're my best friend, Lightning, even though you did call me the R word. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you the R word. That was a long time ago, Mater. You just got to get over it. That was 5 minutes ago. Well, listen, I can't be perfect yet. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. You might want to skip the next 10 pages then.
But you know what? When I do go to Disney again next month, and we go to California Adventure and go to Carsland, I will actually be looking for any kind of merchandise for on cruise because
Yeah.
I genuinely like their character that much.
Yeah, I liked her a lot. Considering also, again, she isn't a broad character the way that Jackson Storm, or whatever the hell that character's name was.
Yeah.
He's just another one in a long line of the competitors who are after Lightning's throne.
Yeah.
I will say it. I texted you this when I was watching it. And I'm like, oh god, they airbutted the end of this movie. Nothing in the rule book says you can't have two cars with the same number on them.
I would like to know if that's true or not. Comment below.
Yeah, please comment below if you are a fan of NASCAR. I'm not. Here's another thing too, and unfortunately, I was thinking about this, and the term is escaping me. Do you remember? All right, we got to go back to WandaVision on this, but you remember that conversation that what Vision was having with himself about the ship? Do you remember the name?
Oh, wow. Damn, I gotta look this one up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. All right,
this is really
WandaVision.
Yeah, this is really good production right
Ship
here.
of Theseus.
Yeah, that's it. Yes,
it's a ship of Theseus. Okay, so that theory is that if you change all of the parts of the ship, is it still truly the same ship? Lightning had, I'm assuming that most race cars have had every single piece of themselves replaced at one point or another. Is it still Lightning McQueen at that point?
Excellent question. I don't know the answer, but I do know. Wasn't a fan of his color scheme at the end.
Oh, the blue?
Yeah, was
that's
not
a fun variant that you can probably find on the Matchbox line.
Yeah, I still wasn't a fan.
Only
I
at Disney
missed him in
Parks.
red.
Yeah, no, and that was, I mean, honestly, it's a 2-minute shot. It's not even. It's not even worth your time or effort even getting upset about, because yeah, he's taking on Hudson, the Hudson Hornet.
Yeah.
Which it was nice to get all that leftover Paul Newman.
Yeah.
Dialogue, and I'm glad that at least his last credited role wasn't Cars. It was Cars 3.
Yeah. Good for him. The one good Cars movie.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. So, I mean, yeah, I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this movie. And, because I was talking to my kids about it. My kids know my feelings towards these. My kids aren't, fans of them either. But, I'm watching it. I'm like, and it was after that halfway point. I'm like, this isn't half bad.
Yeah. And I did post a poll on Twitter.
Yes.
What everybody thought we would think of it. And 22% of you are right. We did give this positive review. 44% said meh. That was the winner.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
I genuinely like this one more than meh. So
Yeah. I mean, just due to the sheer quality of Pixar, it's unfortunate because, again, in my opinion, yeah, it's teetering on being a good movie. I don't know if enough of it is good enough to be like, yeah, definitely top 20. It resides in the bottom somewhere, but I think, quite honestly, this might be a better sequel than Monsters U or Finding Dory.
oh, this is easily over Monsters U for me. And
Yeah.
yeah, I'll put it over Finding Dory. In fact, you know what? For me, that the final half of this movie is so good. This one might hit me in my top 15.
Really?
Yeah, I put top 10 might be pushing it a little bit.
Oh no, yeah. This isn't top 10 Disney. I could Pixar. I could name 10 movies off the top of my head that I like better than this
But
one.
just like the moment when Lightning calls Cruz back in and then
Yeah.
tells them to start putting her with the wheels on her.
Yeah.
That moment, just in their conversation, it actually got me. And most, a lot like Finding Dory didn't really have a got me moment. Cars 2 absolutely didn't have.
Oh God, no.
Cars 2 had a got me moment.
Yeah.
Oh, you got me. Okay, this is stupid. I got it. No. But no, it's there was enough emotional impact in that final race
Yeah.
that I think they would push this one into my top 15. I was even thinking about it. I think I like it a little bit more than Brave.
Okay. I have a soft spot for Brave, so it's.
Yeah, I know you do. I know.
But I have a daughter. That's.
Yeah.
I'm happy we did this.
Yeah.
And it's funny too because we delayed doing this. We put this one off. We did Dune last week.
Yeah, we were afraid to do this one because dear, it's another Cars movie. Well, eggs on our face.
Yeah, exactly. I'll admit when I'm wrong. I absolutely will admit when I'm wrong.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Mm-hmm.
Check it out if you're looking for something. And after tomorrow, after you've exhausted everything that's coming out on Disney Plus tomorrow for Disney Plus Day,
Jungle Cruise right here.
Yeah, Jungle Cruise. I'm gonna watch Shang-Chi again. Well, there's also the Boba Fett documentary, and Under the Helmet.
I hadn't heard about that one.
Yeah, it's a Boba Fett documentary. They're launching prior to the Book of Boba Fett. Also on Disney Plus coming tomorrow. All of those shorts that hadn't been released on Disney Plus because they were sitting in Netflix on a Disney Shorts collection.
Oh, like all of the Pixar short films?
Not all of it's like the Pixar and Disney combination of stuff. So it's just off the top of my head, Feast, Paperman.
Oh yeah, I did see the Paperman was coming there.
Frozen Ever After, the Tangled Ever After. We'll call them both.
This was a fun one, actually.
The Ever After. Yeah, both of those are really good. I love Feast. I love Paperman. Little Match Girl because I don't like living.
I won't watch Little Match Girl.
Yeah,
I refuse to watch that one.
Like all of those shorts that were in that collection are moving to Disney Plus tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. So it's good. I honestly, in the back of my mind, I was thinking there was going to be a lot more stuff released. It's not a tremendous amount, but November's a huge month for Disney Plus. So. Between
and supposedly the first trailer for Kenobi.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. I think, quite honestly, based on what I was hearing, like after you and I watched the sizzle reel, I think it's a sizzle reel. I think
I didn't watch the sizzle reel.
Right, because didn't you say they blocked it, right?
Yeah, I clicked on the link at the beginning of my lunch. I was like, "Oh, cool. I'll have to watch it after lunch." So then I went through lunch and walked it, blocked.
Fuck. It's hard for me to get excited, essentially based on concept art, the actor going, yeah, I couldn't wait to get back out there and just keep doing this. And then showing like 3 scenes of them practicing with broom handles pretty much with masks on because obviously it's still COVID when they were shooting this. That's it. And because I did get it on YouTube right before they yanked it, right below it, sizzle reel, Andor, 11 months ago. I know it's coming. I know it takes a long time to get this stuff done now because shooting goes slower because of the pandemic, but still.
I don't think it's going to be a sizzle reel. I think they'll actually, because they have been filming, they finished filming, so they do have footage.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an actual teaser.
Yeah. So we'll see. But November's a big month for Disney Plus anyway, because we'll have Hawkeye. We're also going to get, I know you're not a Beatles fan, but Peter Jackson is doing a 3-part Beatles documentary, which I'm really looking forward to. I love the Beatles. So I think it'll be fun. I got to tell Todd about that. But yeah, no, it's going to be interesting. But yeah, after you've exhausted all that, just check out Cars. And then ignore, because you watch Cars 3, and then they show you 1, 2, all the Mater crap,
Yeah, this one, Mater is used appropriately in about this much of the film. So
thank God.
And I'm not gonna lie, I did get a little chuckle when he's berating Sterling at the end, Nathan Fillion's character.
Yeah.
And you are not a bad man, but really, I do appreciate all your mud flaps that sold at an affordable price.
Yeah, it was interesting, and it's the first time too that the Rusty's guys really came across as being Clink and Clank.
Yeah,
the Car Talk guys,
and one of them, one of the voice actors for him actually died, like 2 years before the movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they actually reused old footage and old audio from him.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. They were two brothers, voice actors, and one of the brothers died. So that's why one of the brothers did the majority of the speaking.
Majority of the talking. Yeah, okay. Huh. Maybe it was Clink and Clank. I don't know. The Car Talk guys. I mean, I'm sure you can find that out real quick.
I've actually got it up already.
Well, with you sitting in front of your computer and all.
Yeah, it's Tom and Ray Magliozzi.
Yeah, take a look at that. Are either of them the Car Talk
They are
guys?
Click and Clack, yeah.
There we go.
Yep. But yeah, following Tom's death in 2014, unused archive recordings from the first film was used for Rusty's lines.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, no, I'm really happy with this one.
I do always enjoy it when Tex shows up, because he's voiced by Humpy Wheeler, who I do not watch NASCAR, but I know him because he appeared on an episode of American Pickers.
Okay.
They picked from him.
All right. I don't watch either, so he's just a guy.
He was big in the old NASCAR.
Okay. Well, those are our thoughts on Cars 3. What did you think of this movie? If you haven't seen it, go watch it and then comment below. Give us a polite comment below. What were your thoughts on this? And did it surprise you as much as it surprised me and Mike?
Yeah.
I am really shocked by how decent and competent this movie was.
It was the first Cars movie that I felt they tried to incorporate layers into the storytelling.
Right, exactly. So I'm very curious what you thought about that. So yeah, do that, and then go back and watch our other 2 Cars reviews where we're just like, why? Can it be killed with fire?
And you know, it turns out they can listen to criticism, because all the criticisms we had from the first one and the second one, they employed into the third one.
Right. The other thing too, though, Lasseter was out by that point.
Yeah, Lasseter was the executive producer on this one. This is the first Cars movie directed by someone else.
Right, exactly. So that's the other thing too. And then I think the year after this, Lasseter was completely gone from the company.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's Cars 3. Now next week, oh boy, next week.
What is our next movie anyway?
Coco.
I thought it was coming up.
Almost to the date of the fourth anniversary of its release.
Oh, remember me.
Though I have to travel far, remember me. Each time you hear a second time.
That is such a fascinating song in that movie.
It is. And we will talk about that
Yes.
next week. I got to go back and I got to watch this again. Now, I got to watch it in my office so my wife doesn't start bawling her eyes out because it's the toughest out of all of them to watch, I think. So, yeah.
It's not the toughest one for me, but that ending did hit me.
Yes, it did. It did. So, yeah. So, that is next week. So, don't forget to tune into that. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to smash that that subscribe button. Go ka-chow while you're doing it. Give us a big thumbs up. Also, Mike and I host a little podcast called Geek Salad. You can check out wherever you get your podcast from. So it's Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, we're there. So check us out there. We just recorded our TV shows that we just are gluttons for punishment for. We recorded that. That should be out in about a week, maybe 10 days or so. I'm editing, so I'm just going to find the time to pull the clips and edit. So that'll be...
Yeah, I'll see if I can dig up some clips for you this weekend.
I would prefer... I would like that. Thank you. So...
Save you from having to watch through Titans.
God, I got through 4 episodes of that. And I'm like, why am I doing this?
See? Now you know how I feel.
So anyway, yeah, we just check us out wherever. If you want to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and on Facebook at Geek Salad Podcast. You can also check out our TeePublic store. Geek Salad Podcast is a keyword there. Check out our wares. I know it's out of date. I gotta fix it. I've been saying that for 6 months now. I'm sorry, I'm busy. So anyway, until next time, I'm Andy.
I'm Mike.
Go forth, be nerdful, and ka-chow! Talk to you later.